It's hard to believe, but the 1st of July starts tomorrow, and with the new month brings some fun new social events. We're halfway through the year.
Where did June go?
It was rainy. Everybody stayed inside.
That's
what happened.
You're right there. Here with a look at just a few of the happenings that you don't want to miss in the month of July is Post-Gazette scene columnist Natalie Bencivenga. Say that 3 times.
I'd love for you to do that.
It's not going to happen.
It's so good to see you guys.
Good to see you too. You look great.
Thank you so
So this is something that I think is really interesting, a combination of black ties and cars.
Yeah, so the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix, they have a whole week of events.
Classic.
Oh, it's so much fun. And they really kick it off with their black tie gala, which is going to be on July 7th, excuse me. Yes, the 7th. And that's going to be at the Pittsburgh Field Club. And this is a great event, and they really do a lot in the community. I don't think how many people realize how many charities they support.
Really?
Yeah, throughout the year. And so this event sort of not only kicks off the Grand Prix events, which happen, you know, all week, but it also gives people an excuse to get dressed up and support local causes.
I love getting dressed up.
And it's such a legendary Pittsburgh event. It has been around. I remember doing stories on it back in the 80s. So it's a long-standing.
What were those times like?
Well, the 1980s, we had a show on the air back then called Evening Magazine, which I did, and that's what we did the story for.
He could reminisce for a long time.
Don't get me started. All right, then we've got the annual night in the tropics at the Aviary.
Yes, that's the next night on June 8th, and that's one of my favorite events. Have you guys been to the Aviary lately?
It's been about a year since I was back.
You have to go. They're doing this new flight simulator where you can actually fly like a bird.
Oh, yeah. We've seen that.
I tried it. It was I'm a little afraid of heights, and I didn't realize the whole virtual reality thing would be so immersive.
Yeah.
And I actually freaked myself out. So they had to put me in Zen clouds so I could calm down.
Oh my goodness. But there's a way to do it. So.
But they'll have that as part of the event on July 8th, and that's one of my favorite of the summer. It's super fun.
So we're talking about the Grand Prix just a few minutes ago, and this is on July 13th, the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix Passport to Elegance Party.
Yes, and that's at the Voyager Jet Center in the Allegheny County Airport, and they're not only going to have great cars, but now you're also going to have an opportunity to maybe sit in a private plane, pretend you're a trust fund baby, take a few selfies.
Very nice.
So that should be a really fun event, and that's new for them. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be all about.
I'm excited for you. Let us know.
How about Broadway on the Green at the St. Clair Hospital?
Yes, this is to celebrate 20 years of this event. So this is their summer swing party, and this is going to be at the St. Clair Country Club. And it should be a really fun event. It's another black tie party. You know, black ties in the summer are always tricky because it's hot. So people have a hard time putting on a tux and a gown, but I think for a cause like this, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know.
This last one, what is this? Is this the often strange history of Luna Park? What is that?
So I've never heard of Luna Park, but it was the original Kennywood, and it was located in Oakland, and it was at the turn of the 20th century, and it was more of like a carnival met vaudeville. So there were a lot of weird side acts, or sideshow acts, and of course, you know, roller coasters before there were ever codes. So
reminds me of Coney Island a bit.
Yeah, so this guy, Brian Butko, wrote a book about it, and him and Rick Seaback and a few other Pittsburgh celebrities are going to be talking about the book at the Row House Cinema in Lawrenceville, and it's going to also be a big party. I'm really interested to see what kind of transpires, because that's a really cool concept, and I have never heard of that, and Pittsburgh history is amazing.
I think we're actually having the author in next week to talk about the book.
Yeah. We'll have to tune in for that one.
How about the Black Tie and Tailpipes Gala at the Pittsburgh Field Club?
Yeah, that's earlier in the month, and like we were saying, the Vintage Grand Prix is going to have events all week long, so it's going to be great.
Fantastic. Now, I did ask you before we started the segment, and I'm very interested, when is the safari party at the zoo? Because I've never been able to go. And
you would love it.
I am really excited. I hope I can make it this year.
It is so much fun, and I believe this year it's on the 31st, but I can double check that. But there's going to be a ton of interactive animal exhibits, and of course they bring animals out for all of the patrons to engage with. Last year I played with an armadillo. I use the term play like loosely, like held one.
Right, okay. Still
tarantulas, I mean,
still something you don't get to normally do.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being with us, Natalie.
Oh, great to see both of you.
Okay. For more on what's happening around town, you can follow Natalie in the Post-Gazette scene column, as well as her online for her video series, Setting the Scene. And you'll also find her here with us on PTL with a look at what's coming up each month. Thanks so much, Natalie.
Good job, Nat.